Okay, the next section is O.4. It says composition of linear functions, find a value. So the way you would read this out loud is f of g of 2. So I can rewrite that like this. F parentheses g parentheses 2. Okay, so what that means is you start on the inside. G of 2 is what I'm going to do first, because when I rewrite it like this, I think it's a little bit easier to tell. I have to do this first. So the g function, g of x equals x plus 5. Well, 2 is my x value that gets substituted in. So when I plug in 2 here, 2 plus 5 we know is 7. I take this answer and I plug it into the other function that I haven't used yet, into the f function. So the f function says f of x equals 6x. So I do f of 7. So 6 times 7 is 42. So my answer for this question is 42. Okay, so this one says f of g of 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is g of 1. So I take a 1 and substitute it into the g function. So 5 times 1 is 5. Because it says g of x equals 5x, I plug the 1 in, so 5 times 1 is 5. Alright, so that's my first step. I take my answer and plug it into the other function, the f function. So f of x equals 6x plus 5. That's going to be 6 times 5 plus 5. That's 30 plus 5, which is 35. So 35 is my final answer here. And that's how you do this one. Again, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and see if they get a little bit more difficult. Jump the next level. Okay, again, this is still the same thing on the next level. B of C of 0. So B parentheses C parentheses 0. I work from the inside out. So first I'm going to do C of 0. So the C function was just 4x. So I'm going to plug in 0 in here. So C of 0 is 4 times 0, which anything times 0 is 0. You take the 0, you plug it into the b function. So the b function is b of x equals 2x plus 6. That's going to be 2 times 0 plus 6, because that gets plugged in here for x. That's 0 plus 6, which is 6. This answer is 6. Same thing here, like on this problem, you would do c of negative 5, so you plug negative 5 in here. So negative 5 plus 4 is what, negative 1? You take the negative 1 and plug it in here. So 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Alright, let me jump up and see if they get a little bit more difficult, or if this is what they keep doing. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's the same concept. C of D of 0, so C, D of 0. So I plug 0 into the D function. So that's going to be 3 times 0, subtract 1. 3 times 0 is 0, and 0 subtract 1 is negative 1. You take the negative 1 and plug it into the C function. So that's going to say 4 times negative 1 plus 1. Because negative 1 goes in for x right here. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So this answer is going to be negative 3. And that's how you do O.4.